Chame. Chama Wagapo, you guys. Back on it. Back on the surnames this week. So we're still in the Carolinas. Um, Today we're gonna focus on the Johnson surname. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit, see y'all come on. See when y'all come on. Now this list is mostly focused on North Carolina. And like I said, the Carolinas were together at one point. And then also some of these people migrated down from Virginia as well. And at the time, Maryland, just like the Carolinas were connected, Maryland and Virginia were closely connected as well. All right, so the people came in through Virginia up to Maryland, and then from Virginia down to North and South Carolina. Hey, peace. Chimichess you guys. Peace, Patricia. Yeah, Chama Wangapo, Chickahominy roots. All right, so we're going to start with the Johnson surname. We're back on coastal. Yeah, do I have a Cash App? Yes, my Cash App is $ the Tasha She. If you guys want to send donation, because I would like to get some more genealogy books to share with you guys. Because I see them at the local library that I go to. It's the genealogy library, but they're reference books, and they cost a lot of money, and you can't take them out of the library. But what I might do is record while I'm in there. I can't do live because the connection is bad and you can't speak. I might record some of the pages for you guys, especially the book about Pocahontas' descendants, because I know some of you descend from her through some of these surnames, like the Robinsons and Collins and other people, Bowlings or Boilings, whichever spelling that you guys took on. Anyways, back to the Johnson name. And we're on coastalcarolinaindians.com. And they're talking about the Johnson surname. And this page, if you want to search it on there, it's Johnston/Johnson Surnames Research. So they did a whole research database of the Johnson family. And it says the Johnson family first appears as free people of color in Virginia's Eastern Shore in the mid 1600s, and later in various counties in North Carolina, in eastern North Carolina. This family is connected through marriage extensively with other families that are key in our research: the Butlers, Roach, Buck, Harris, and Bryant. Bryant like Kobe Bryant. His family's actually he's probably related to all these people. His family's from down in the Carolinas. You say you need help on Johnson ancestor. All right, well, they have a long, extensive list of surnames on here. Long list. Who's in Jamaica? Y'all talking to each other. Yes, the Sheba, that's correct. Is a $ in the front for the Cash App thing. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Peace, you had a huge earthquake in Jamaica. Oh my goodness, you guys okay? That's scary. I didn't see anything on the news. They're still talking about the Kobe Bryant stuff. I didn't see anything about an earthquake. That's terrible. Hopefully everybody's safe and they got to evacuate you guys. They evacuate you and everybody's accounted for. It's really scary. Like this time of day too. People at work or school or, doing stuff at home. It's really terrible. Sorry for you guys in Jamaica. All right. And some of the people from Jamaica are related to these people as well, because people got traded around, they moved around, people migrated. So it's all good, all a connection. Good afternoon. All right, so we're going to start the list. It says early North Carolina census records. Yes, Sheba, we're doing North Carolina. So they mentioned Harris in relation to the Johnson family. They said the Johnson family first appeared in Virginia in the mid 1600s, and then later in counties in eastern North Carolina. And of course, we know the people migrated and spread out. He said, yes, we're okay, I believe. No reports as of yet. It just happened in the last 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm glad you're okay, Soapy. Glad everybody's okay. We'll see what happens. If it just happened, we'll see what happened in the other areas on the island. See if everybody's okay. You said my Johnsons live in Virginia and somehow come to Alabama. Yeah, well, you know what? Like I was saying about Mississippi, people in the late 1800s, they went down to those areas, Alabama, Arkansas, down the whole Coast, of course, Mississippi, Louisiana, because there was a lot of job opportunities after emancipation. And people needed people to work, on their farms or plantations, but it was a paid job at that time. So that's probably why they migrated for work purposes or to buy land as well. Okay, but it says the Johnson family is connected to these key families in this research: the Butler, the Roach, Buck, Harris, and Bryant or Bryan family. Right, like I said, Kobe Bryant probably is related to or was related to these people, these families. All right, we're going to start at the top. And this is not in alphabetical order. Well, it's in alphabetical order based on the counties in North Carolina at this time. And it's starting in 1694, and it's going all the way down to 1770s. So we're still in the 1700s dealing with this, and dealing with the Carolina ancestry. And that's what I was saying, you guys. Carolinas is so extensive. It seems like we're going to be on it for a while. I know a lot of you keep asking me about Georgia and Virginia. I want to get to Georgia and then come back to Virginia. So, and then finally get to Maryland, because I haven't even spoken about Maryland yet. But it's so much with the Carolinas, and we're so interrelated, which people don't, realize. It's not a book. You can actually go to coastalcarolinaindians.com and see all the records that I'm talking about. But I'm adding my extra commentary to it. But any other time you want to go see it, you can go back to that website. If somebody can put it in the chat room for you guys so y'all can follow along, because I can't. They won't let me put any message in it. Thank you, Lolita. Thank you. Someone just sent a donation. Okay. You got it, Harvey? coastalcarolinaindians.com. Anything on Austin, Page, Union County, Monroe, Marshfield? I think those are some of the newer counties, because you guys remember the other time, I don't remember seeing any of those names. So probably once we get out of the 1700s, those counties will come about. So what you need to do is look on the older maps and figure out what counties those counties were divided out of. What they used to do is they had large counties, the colonial counties, and then they would carve those up to 2, 3, 4, even 4 different counties out of that one large county. So you're going to have to go back, find out what the original county is, and then that way you can look up records for your people at that time in those counties. Hope that's not confusing. Hancock. Yes, we spoke about the Hancock family in Carolinas last week, I believe, North Carolina. Thank you. I appreciate it, Shiva. I appreciate it. Is the parchment name of our people, or is it European? Yeah, we spoke about it before. Europeans do. Some Europeans do have the same surnames in Europe, but mostly over here, a lot of the names originated with the indigenous families. Oh, thank you, Crump. Thank you. You guys are so generous today. Y'all know I appreciate it. Oh, no problem, Chelsea. So with the surnames, like I said, in business and commerce, like I used the example of John, what was his name? Oh my goodness. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What people would do is they would pick a name so they can do business and commerce, and that eventually became the family name. So let me just say John Sparks. I can't remember the name on the top of my head. Like John Sparks would be chief Lomaha or something in his language, but he would go by the name John Sparks to sign treaties or do business transactions. And that eventually became the surname for the family. His son took on the Sparks name, his daughters, whatever, down the line. That's basically what they did. Some of the names, like Brown, come out of indigenous, like tribal, like Brown descends from the Bear Clan, okay, in some cases. Because, of course, the bear was brown or whatever over here, at least over here. That's the only way I can tell you guys, if y'all understand it, because it's so many layers, it's so complicated at times. And sometimes the surname comes in through intermarriage, a European man, and not all the time were they pale. There was dark-skinned melanated Europeans as well who married indigenous women, and they passed those surnames. You said, Sophie, you missed some information. Trying to catch up. It's okay. Take your time and be safe out there. I hope everybody's okay in Jamaica. And I was just saying, Sophie, that some of these names, they're all interrelated with people in the Caribbean and other places. So, okay, but let me get back to the Johnsons, you guys. I got it all out the way, talking about the surnames' origins. Okay, we're going to start at the top at Marley, right? Is it Abe Marley? Y'all know I always mess this up. Abe Marl County. Peace, Deshawn. Said, is Lomax indigenous to North Carolina City, PA? North Carolina City? You mean Charles City? Yeah, there's some Lomaxes in Charles City County or Charles City in Virginia. Yes, that's near the Richmond area. Aber Marley. Okay, thank you, Sheba. I always butchered this name, and this name is in several states, and whatever state it is, I've butchered the name. Okay, so we're going to start in 1694, Elizabeth Johnson, and they have her on this list twice. I don't know if it's just an era or if there's two Elizabeths. It could be a mother and a daughter. And then there's W. Johnson. And then in 1695, there's Daniel Senior Johnson, John Johnson, Daniel Johnson, I guess that's Junior, and William Johnson. And now we're in 1717, Abel Johnson, spelled Abell, and this is Chowan County now, and Susan Johnson in Chowan County. Okay, so we're in 1717 now. Thomas Johnson, Chowan County. And I'm going to tell you when to change to a different county. And Abel Johnson, spelled Abel. And it says early tax list. So these people were documented as free people of color. So this is on the early tax list right here. Susan Johnson, another Thomas Johnson. And now we're in Craven County, and this is 1719. Jacob Johnson, and they have Jacob Johnson twice, and one of them, he's on the early tax list. It could be his son. Now this one, they have doubles as well. I don't know if this is just double list, or these are father and son, or whatever. Now it's Peter Johnson on here twice. This is no township listed. And Richard Johnson on here twice, no township listed. And this is 1720. Okay, 1720 again for Craven County. William Johnson, no township listed, and he's listed twice. Okay, and now we're in Perquimans County, the one y'all kept asking me to repeat. Perquimans. And it's John Johnson on here in the 1720. Abel Johnson. You can see some of the names they're using the same first names too. They're passing the same first names around in the family. Okay. And there's John Johnson on here twice, and this is 1740, so it kind of skipped ahead. everyone, it went from 1721 to 1740. I don't know what happened to the Johnsons in between that time. It could be that the records were burned because we know they did that a lot. All right, and then John Johnson again. And now we're in Tyrrell County. And John Johnson, a different John Johnson. And then John Johnson again a year later in 1742. Okay, let's see what you're saying. Derek, you said your grandmother and father were born in North Carolina City and Virginia, and my grandmother's last name was Lomax, and my grandfather's last name was Gray. Oh, I never heard of a North Carolina City. What time was this? That's why I assumed you were talking about Charles City. Do you know what county that is? Halito, you guys. Halito, how you doing, Blacksonville? All right, let me get back to the list. I'll wait till you respond to the county so I can answer your question. All right, now we're in Beaufort County. Now, Beaufort is notorious Yamasee territory. And this is Abraham Johnson. And he's listed twice, and this is 1755. And it says no township listed. It's a lot of people with, oops, I'm sorry, you guys. A lot of people with no townships listed on here. Thank you, Sheba, for typing it so people know what they can Google, what they should Google. Isaac Johnson, he's on here twice. James Johnson's on here twice. John Johnson's on here twice. And William Johnson's on here twice. It's a 1755, you guys. And Abraham Johnson's on here twice. And Abraham is on the tax list of 1755. Oh, I need to give you a wrench. Let me give you a wrench. There you go. I'll be forgetting about it. I have a whole bunch of people I'd be forgetting to give them a wrench. Okay, now we're going to Isaac Johnson. Again. Did I already do this one, you guys? I think I just did this. I just clicked the button. It's a lot. Like I said, no, it's the same names. I didn't do that already. They're just like certain names certain families choose to pass down. You guys will notice that when you do your genealogy. Like in my family, the name John is passed down a lot. John and Sarah, certain names like that are passed down. Hey, good afternoon, Brandon. Okay, so we're going back to the list. Abraham Johnson twice, Isaac Johnson twice, James Johnson twice, John Johnson twice, and William Johnson twice. And this is Beaufort County. All right, so now we're going to Currituck County, spelled Currituck. And this is another John Johnson on here twice with no township listed in 1755. You said you're getting off work, but you're a Brown. Okay, I'm a Brown too. Thank you, Sheba. All right, and now we're in Granville County. Granville is notorious Indian town, what do they call it? Indian country. We're starting off in 1755. And the first person on here is Bugo Negro Johnson. Sometimes they'll put Negro or mulatto in the person's name to what? I said y'all, I'm about to do the snakers. What is it? She said nakers thing. I said sniggerfies. I'm sorry, you guys. To solidify the ethnicity of the person. Y'all. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so it has Bugo, Bugo, Negro Johnson. Okay. The next person is Francis Johnson, Isaac Johnson, Jonathan Johnson, Mathis, like Judge Mathis, Negro Johnson, Moll, like Molly, without the Y, Moll, signify. That's the right word, not signify. I'm sorry, y'all. Molly, Moll Negro Johnson, Moll. Nan, like your Nana, Nan, Negro Johnson. This is 1755, Granville County. Peter Negro Johnson, Thomas Johnson, Will Negro Johnson, William Johnson. I guess these are two different people. Francis Johnson, again on early tax list. Isaac Johnson, early tax list. Jonathan Johnson, early tax list. Thomas Johnson, early tax list. William Johnson on the early tax list. Okay. Now this is their list on no township listed. Francis Johnson twice. Isaac Johnson twice. Jonathan Johnson twice. Thomas Johnson twice. And William Johnson twice. I do not know why they have people listed twice. One of the Cajuns you saw that was the father and son, but I don't know. I think they're just, I don't know. I really, honestly, I don't know about this one. Okay. Hey, peace. All right, let's see. This is Bertie County. And we're going to start with John R. Johnson. As you can see, John and Isaac and Thomas are very popular names with the Johnson family. You see your granddad is William Johnson. Wow. Are you related to the Carolina peoples? You're probably related to somebody on this list. All right, this is 1757. And then it's James Jimkins, not Jenkins. Maybe it's Jenkins, but they misspelled it. Spelled Jemkins. And this is his early tax list, 1757. John Jenkins, Elizabeth Jenkins. And then it's Lewis of Eliz Jenkins. So maybe it's Lewis, son of Elizabeth Jenkins on here. William Jenkins. And there's Isaac Johnson. John Johnson, spelled G-U-N with a dot. So I don't know what it's abbreviation for. Initials for. So it looks like the Jenkins and the Johnsons are interrelated as well. Let's see what y'all talking about. You said he's from Maccabee, South Carolina. Okay. Yeah, he's probably related because the Carolinas are right beside each other. So you might trace back to some of these people if you get back into the 1600s. All right, now we're back in Currituck County, spelled Currituk, and we're starting off with Richard Johnston with a T, Jonston. Yes. And this is 1715. Thomas Johnston, spelled the same way as Richard's last name. And another Richard Johnston, spelled Johnston. I don't know if this is the same family or could just be, distant family. William Johnston, spelled just like the last guy, just like Richard. And now this William Johnston is spelled Jonston, just like the first ones. Okay. You said you met Indian family members from North Carolina. Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys are all interrelated. All right, Craven County is just one person, Richard Johnston, with the T on it. And this is 1742. I don't know why I'm so thirsty today, you guys. I don't know what's going on. Samuel Johnston with a T, Johnston, and he is in Onslow County, Onslow. This is 1742. John Johnston for Bertie County, 1743. William Johnston, Onslow County, 1743. So it's only two people for 1743. And I kind of find it odd that they skip for y'all saw how it skipped 20 years with none of these people mentioned, and then now it's just like certain years is only like a couple of people on there. But then you see the same people from before on here. I don't know why that is. It probably was a burnt county or something like that. Okay, let's see. In James Johnston, Carteret County, Carteret County, Carteret, and that's 1744. John Johnson, Cowan County, 1754. Joshua Johnson, Chowan County, 1754. Peace. How you doing, Hawk? Yeah, paper genocide, exactly. They did, I believe they did it on purpose. I really do. He said, I don't know much about my mother's mom, Lou Mae Johnson, but I do have powers and cousin matches on Ancestry DNA. Lots of matches from Granville in North Carolina. Oh, okay. Yeah. So because the Pamunkeys and different tribes from the Powhatan Nation, they moved down, like I was explaining to y'all before, they moved down to North Carolina, some of them with their Caucasian wives, their European wives, because North Carolina was more lenient and more understanding to interracial couples at the time. And this is way before the Loving versus the United States or whatever case. People have been in interracial relationships. It was just around the time after emancipation during the Reconstruction industrial time is when they started cracking down on interracial marriages because they felt threatened. And then they felt like, now that people were more people were free, they had more competition. And then they didn't want to have competition with their women, you know what I'm saying? So they start cracking down, and they was like, okay, it's going to get to the point where we're going to be eliminated. So they had to do something. If you go back and look in Walter Plecker and the whole eugenics movement, you'll see that was their whole plan, especially during the early 1900s. All those tribes that claim went extinct. No, the tribes were written out. It was paper genocide. We're still here. Like the people, all of us with the blood of these people are still here. We were just written out, and we don't have organization of some of these tribes. That's all that was. You said Waganagi has an excellent video today on what? Has an excellent video today, family. Please check them out. Hope you don't mind, Tasha. Oh, I don't mind. I gotta check this for. I don't know. I don't subscribe to them, so I need to check them out myself. Said my grandpa came from Virginia, and he mad baskets of fish and traps, and never said he was African. Yeah, Virginia used to have a whole, and North Carolina the rivers used to overflow with fish. That's what they claim. All right, so let me get back to the list. We are at John Johnston, Chowan County. Joshua Johnston, Chowan County. John Johnston, Chowan County, with early tax list. And Joshua is on there with the early tax list. And that was 1754. All right, now we're in 1755, and this is Cumberland County. Solomon Johnston is on here 4 times. I need to check for you. Yeah, thank you, Jermaine. They need to check for me too. Not that many people are checking for me as I would like, because I want people to get this information so they can help their families. People are out here, families are all separated and they don't know their past, and it's not really good. And they don't believe their grandma, which is the worst thing. The grandma saying that she's an Indian, people are not believing it no more. So you need to verify it, for your grandma, at least before some of these elders pass. Okay, so Solomon is on here 4 times. He's on the early tax list. Yeah, it is sad. It really is. And he's on a no township listed. So, and that's Cumberland County. Now we're in New Hanover County. So this is some more counties being created, you guys. I know a lot of y'all were asking for counties that wasn't listed last time. So more counties are being created. You said North Carolina folklore is the book they did on him. What book they did on who? Okay, let us know what book. All right, Ezekiel Johnson is from New Hanover County, and this is 1755. And he's on here 3 times as well. And then there's Lewis Johnston is on here 4 times. And Stevenson Johnson's on there 4 times. For 1755 New Hanover County. Okay, we're in Orange County now, 1755, and all of them have no township listed in Orange County. Charles Johnson on there twice. John Johnson's on there 3 times. Thomas Johnson's on there 3 times. William Johnson's on here 4 times, and then he's listed in Rowan County. And I don't know if that's the same person or someone different. Yeah, we need that name, Sean. The name of the person in the book. Okay, now we're in Tyrell County, 1755. Joshua Johnson, Randall Johnston, Joshua Johnson again, with no township listed 2 times. Randall's listed 2 times with no township listed. And that's it for Tyrell County. You said, what did you say? I'm having trouble finding the county names. My family migrated to Louisiana. Louisiana is a closed state, so I have to order the birth certificates, death, marriage certificate. Wow, why is it a closed state? That's interesting. So what you would have to do, to find out the information, you might have to search through multiple family members that are not direct descendants from you. Say you descend from, you're going down your father's line and up, and you're trying to find information about the grandparents. You might want to check his brother or his sister and see what information comes up, because it could be, especially if you're on ancestry.com, it could be that there is other family members who had already did extensive research on someone who you're not directly related to. And you might be able to fall upon their research and get information about the grandparents that way. So I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. All right, so we're going to get back to the list. And they have Josiah Johnson in Bertie County in the early tax list. No problem. John Johnston, he's in Hertford County, 1759. William Johnson, Rowan County, 1759. Francis Johnston is on here twice for Rowan County, 1761. And that person, I don't know if it's male or female, is on the early tax list as well. So when it says on the early tax list, you may be able to look up a actual tax list with more information about them, the land or the property that they own, and other family members. Hey, Davida, you didn't get a notification? Oh my goodness. You guys, if you want to make sure you get notifications, because I know, I'm about to say Facebook, YouTube keeps changing policies and things that they're doing. You have to click the bell button, and then you have to click it to the solid gray bell button that says all notifications. Because if you get like, if you leave it on the outline, or you leave it on the other one that does, I guess it does custom, you might not get notifications all the time. You might just get it when I upload a video, not when I'm live. So you have to click all. You said, other than what you said before, there's no such indigenous name as Johnson. Well, of course, it's not in any indigenous language. If you were here earlier and understood what I said, people adopted names, or they created surnames to do business and commerce. just like a straw man. You got an L, you should know what a straw man is. That's basically what your surname or your commerce or English or whatever you want to call it name is. It's a straw man name. So these people had their own indigenous names, and then they adopted a straw man name to do business and commerce. Okay, that's exactly what it is, and it was passed down. Like I said, the son might have taken the name or whatever, or the daughter, and passed it down to their children. Okay, do y'all follow me? That's how we got a lot of these surnames. Or some people descend from melanated European people or pale European people. And that's how we got the names, through intermarriage or through business and commerce. Okay. You said you didn't feel the aftershocks? Or you talking about the, okay. At peace, you guys. You okay? You okay, though? Soapy. Yeah. So that's the big earthquake. Let me get back to the list. I gotta finish it out. Trying to get done by 3:30, you guys, because this is a long list. Like, it's going all the way to 1770, I believe. Peace, Liz. All right, so we're on Henry Johnston, and that's Hanover County, New Hanover County, 1762, and he's on there twice. And then there's Stephen Johnson on there twice as well, from New Hanover County, and William Johnson, New Hanover County, 1772, 1720, 1762. All right, and so we're in Pitt County now. We have James Senior Johnston, 1762. Nathan Johnston. James Senior on here again twice. I don't know if these are two different seniors, because one is spelled with just the SR dot, and this one is SEN dot. And he's on there twice. Nathan Johnston, and then James Senior with the SR dot on here twice. Okay, and then Nathan again twice. So I don't know why they have them twice, if this is a multiple list, if they're just inputting the data from one list and then there's another exact list that somebody else is putting the data. I don't know how they do their database. But this is database based on the documents at these vital records facilities. All right, so we're getting into Rowan County again. I don't know what order this is, because it's just, I think they're just going by the year now, because it wasn't alphabetical and now it's all over the This is Chris Negro Johnson. It's spelled Criss. I don't know what the deal with that is. And it's Rowan County, 1762. David Johnson. Gildian Johnson, spelled Gideon. And Henry Johnston. Isaac S. of David Johnson. I guess it's Isaac, the son of David Johnson. So if you're doing your genealogy and you're looking up Isaac Johnson, and you're like, oh, I found Isaac on the list, and then now you know his father is David Johnson. So right there, you have two people knocked out for your family tree. James Johnson, Jeffrey Johnston, John Johnston, Joseph Johnston, and then you have Joshua, the son of Jas, Jas Johnston. So it's good that they have this on the list, because that would help. Like, if you're having a brick wall, that would help out tremendously. And some of the times, these people, because it's the 1700s, might be the head of the household in the top of the tree in documentations, if that makes sense. Because everybody wasn't documented before that. Because they could be living in tribal land, or they could be wherever. Richard Johnston, Robert Johnston, Robert and Brother Johnston. Now, I don't know if this means this is his brother, Or a brother Johnson could be his title, like a brother in the church. You know, they have deacons, they have brothers or whatever. It could be that. I'm not sure. And now it's Robert and two sons Johnston. And this is Tarley and brother Johnston. And it's spelled Tarlie. It's a nice name. It's unique. Tarlie. And they have Thomas Johnson, William Johnston. You see William, you're going to see William. You see John, you see David again. Yes, David again. Isaac of David Johnson, which means he's the son of David Johnson. So David got a lot of sons on here. And John Johnston, Robert Johnston, Robert and two sons, Johnston. And that was the Rowan County. Let's see what y'all saying. We've been on here 40 minutes. You see, you know Johnson's in Charleston, West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia used to be part of Virginia. So, you see the Johnson side of my family is extra, extra large. Yeah, my cousin is a Johnson. Yeah, Johnson through his father. That's not related to me. Okay, so we're gonna get back to Bladen County. Now we're in see the time now I'm looking at it, it's not even in order with the time, because now we're in 1763. I mean, hold on. No, it's in order. It's in order. Not bad. That's my mistake. It's in order. 1763. It's in order. Okay, so we're in 1763 now. We're in Bladen County. John Johnson is on here twice. Lazarus Johnson, I don't know if y'all need me to spell it. Lazerus. So do you have advice on the Clark name and where did we come from? I'm not sure. I know a Clark. I believe her people from North Carolina. I was friends with a girl named that's a Clark. You say you live by the motto, be fruitful. I need some more. Fruitful and multiply. Y'all, I'm messing up all my words today. Like extra dehydrated. Okay, we're gonna back. We say Lazarus. Lazarus is on there twice. Robert Johnson. Thomas Johnson. Okay, and then we're John Johnson's on there twice. And then Lazarus again. Okay, I don't understand. Oh, this is the tax list, so that was a different list. So these are two different lists. We have the regular list, and then we have the tax list. So John is on there. Lazarus is on the tax list. Robert Esquire Johnson, so that means he was a higher echelon person of color. Esquire on there. Thomas Johnson is on there twice, and that's Bladen County, 1763, you guys. Ah, thank you, cousin. You know, like my glasses. You say he was attorney. Yes, an attorney, Esquire, upper echelon person. And, you know, they try to make it seem like we're all in the pits groveling and getting our butt whipped every day. But this man in 1763 is a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even y'all saw in 12 Years a Slave, everybody was sitting there, you know, taking it. They were fighting back and everything. So they want to make us seem like we were docile and getting beat up all the time, and that just is not the case. I mean, it did happen to some people. I'm not saying that people were not cruel and evil. I'm saying that they want to paint only that picture, basically. That's what I'm saying. Right? Okay. And then this is Joseph Johnson, New Hanover County in 1763. So we're getting into that now. And like I said, you guys, they would like you to think your Johnson surname come from a slave master or whatever. And that's not. Y'all see this long list. Okay? Y'all can do the research yourself. They want you to think a certain way. You know, back in the 80s and the 70s, they put out this certain image about our genealogy to basically scare us away from doing it. They want us to think, okay, ain't no point doing genealogy. You just from one big old slave, you know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna find nothing, and you're not gonna connect with no family or anything. But when you actually do the work, you see that's not true, and we all are individual, and we have different stories and from our different families. So even if you believe that you descend from enslaved people, know that they are people. They have surnames. They had families. They weren't, you know what I'm saying? They had an identity. They try to strip us from this identity. Those people are prisoners of war. They came from tribes, they came from nations and families and clans. So don't feel a certain way about your genealogy before you jump into it. That's all I'm saying. Right, and everybody wasn't illiterate. You see, the man was a lawyer. He definitely wasn't. Right, and they stole some of these surnames. You know, they took some of these surnames back to Europe. Some of them came from Europe, but some of them they took back to Europe. Even if some of them might have originated in Europe with those European indigenous melanated people, they might have changed their name here and taken it back to Europe, if y'all understand what I'm saying. Okay, somebody can come from there. They can be a criminal because they did take hundreds of thousands of criminals to Georgia and other places from England and Ireland and Scotland. Those people they didn't keep their surnames. Some of them didn't even have proper surnames because they were orphans. Some of them took our surnames and then they went back to Europe after they finished their digit servitude or whatever. They couldn't take it here, or they did a crime here and they wanted to leave. That's what they did. All right, y'all. So I'm just trying to break it down to you. And let me finish this long list off because it's getting close to 3:30 now. You said facts, the penal colonies. Yes, you can look up the penal colonies. You can look, especially Rikers Island for them. You said you just saw an alert on your phone when you went to look back and you couldn't because you know I don't be on Facebook. Okay. Okay. So we're back in Hanover County. Now they're going back and forth with the counties. I think what they're doing is going by date. So we just gotta bear with me with the counties and stuff. Is it Pennsylvania? Yeah, Pennsylvania was a penal colony as well as New York. All right, Joseph Johnston on here twice. William Johnston, Abraham Johnston is on here twice. Crosley, spelled Crosley, Johnston. Jesse Johnson, spelled like Jesse Jackson, Jesse. And this is Beaufort County now. This is Beaufort County, 1764. Jesse's on her twice. John Johnston's on her twice. Peter Johnston is on her twice. Truitt Johnston, spelled Truitt, and it's 1764. Beaufort. William Johnson is on here twice, 1764. Peace, you guys. Yes, Beaufort County. Now it's back to Pitt County. And this is starting off with Benoni. Benoni. Now, I don't know if that's an indigenous name or where this name comes from. Y'all can probably look further into it, but his name is Benoni. Benoni. And this is Pitt County, 1764. James Johnson's on there twice. William Johnson's on there twice. And that's it for Pitt County. All right, we're back to New Hanover County. And this is Ezekiel. He's back on the list twice. Joseph. Now, it's looking like some of these are the same people. Joseph's on here again twice. Now it's a new person, Matthew Johnson, on here twice. So it's probably one of the sons now getting some land. Stephen Johnson on here twice. And William Johnson is on here twice. Okay. Yeah, a lot of Johnsons. And this one, like some of them are spelled with the T in between, but it's the same people, same surname. All right, greetings, Roland. And we're in Cumberland County again, 1767, you guys. And we're going to start with Aaron. Aaron Johnson, spelled Aaron. James Johnson. Do I even need to say Johnson anymore? I'm just going to say the first name because it's making me extra thirsty. Yeah, a lot of Johnson. I'm saying Johnson, Johnson, Johnson. Like a tongue twister, right? So it's Aaron, James, John, Martin Jr., Martin Sr., Sampson Johnson, William, Aaron on here again twice, still 1767. James on here twice, John twice, Martin Jr. on here twice, Martin Sr. on here twice, Sampston Johnson. I don't know if it's the same one, but it's spelled with an extra T. Sampston. William on here 4 times. Wait a minute. No, William's on here twice for Cumberland County, and then it moves to New Hanover County, and he's on here twice. So it's two different guys, I believe. He can't live in. He's not living in two counties at once. I don't think. I wouldn't pay taxes. I wouldn't pay taxes twice, so what, right? Even though he ain't even supposed to be paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? All right, and now we're in Rowan County, 1768. So it looks like they skipped a year. No, they didn't skip a year. That was 1767. Okay, so it's Jacob, Alexander, and this is the early tax list. Jacob, again, on an early tax list. John of Alex, and I guess Alexander Johnson, because it says Alex Dot. So so we know John is the son of Alexander Johnson on this list. Thomas Johnson, that's the end of the tax list. So we're in Bertie County. John is on here twice, 1769, and Josiah is on here twice, 1769. Y'all having your own little conversation over here. I like that. Peace, you guys. Yeah, a lot of Johnsons on here. Okay, so now we're in Brunswick County. Okay, Brunswick County. And we have John Johnson on here 3 times. He's on the early tax list, and then he's on no township listed, and this is 1769. Okay, wait a minute, no, 4 times. He's on there 4 times. Craven County, we have Arthur Johnston on here twice, 1769, and Charles Johnson on there twice. Need some water. All right, so we have Dobbs County. So now this is a new county popping up. Yeah, they almost own land if they're on the tax records too, right? So we have Martin Johnson is on Dobbs County twice, 1769. And now we're in Onslow County. Benjamin is on here, 1769. Benjamin and Son is on here. So maybe Benjamin had a piece of property, and then him and his son owned dually. Wata. Julie owned some land. Somebody said Wata. Butler's on here. Chaz, son of Garrett Johnson. So Chas, the son of Garrett, Garet, 1769 Onslow. And then it's Garrett by himself, but which is spelled different. It's spelled Garett. I don't know if it's the same Garrett or it's a different one, or the people at the office can't spell. Who knows? Then there's John, there's Joshua, Thomas, William, and that's 1769. And now this is Onslow early tax list, 1769. It says blank of Ben Johnston. So one of his sons, but they don't have his first name on here. Benjamin Johnson. This is the early tax list. Butley, butler like a butler. It's spelled Butley, and it could fairly be butler, but they don't know how to spell or write, clearly for people to read it in the future. And it's Charles of Garrett Johnson. So one of Garrett's sons, I guess, a different son. Unless Chaz is Charles. I really don't know. You have to figure that out if y'all doing genealogy. And another Garrett, and I believe this is just spelled bad, Garrott. And this one is Benjamin. I believe this is really Benjamin. Spelled Jenjamin. John. And Joshua's on here twice. Thomas and William is on here twice on the early tax list, 1769. See what y'all talking about. And peace, you guys. He said, hey, does the value on tax records denote land value? It would, depends on the state, on the county. They might have both. They definitely will have like the land value. I'm not sure if they would have the value of the actual enslaved people or not. So, but you could probably look at the probate or the estate records to find more information. It said Chatham County's 1834. Yeah, check. What you can do is contact the county clerk office and ask them for information, or the county courthouse, or the historical society of that county. They may have some books or information available to help you. I don't know, they might charge a fee, but you can ask for their help. All right, we're still on Onslow. Yeah, it should help. They should, most of them people, they sitting back in there bored as heck all day. So, and some of them volunteer to work in those places. So if you call in, a lot of them are going to, be willing to help you or tell you where you can look for help at or go or whatever. Okay. Let's see. William, it's the same names over and over again. We're almost done, you guys. William is on here again in Onslow County, early tax list, 1769. He's on here twice. Benjamin is on here twice. This is just no township listed, 1770. Garrett, spelled Garrott. He's on here twice. And Joshua is on here twice. And William is on here twice. This is 1770. And you see it's before the independence from the colonial empire, or whatever you want to call them over there, from England. So we finished that list. This is all the Johnsons up to 1770 in North Carolina. Okay. And I don't know when was South Carolina created or taken from the Spanish? I think that's 1780. I could be wrong, but y'all look that up yourself. So we finished that off. So next time we're gonna go look into the Squire. That's the name, John Squires. Look into the Squire surname in the Carolinas and the Elks. Those are known Indian families. And hopefully we'll be able to finally get to South Carolina, because we'll be back in probably 1800 soon, when it was formulated or when the families start moving there. So you guys got any questions? Been on here close to 60 minutes. Any more questions? I didn't see HM today. Must be busy. Someone told me that Atlanta has a National Archives. I have to go. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have some of the same, they have copies, some of the same stuff that's up here in Washington, D.C. and Texas, and I think Salt Lake City has one. There's a couple of them around the country, No, I didn't mention a Friday. I didn't mention a Friday. To Onslow. Thank you. Thank you, Sheba, for your help today and your donation. I appreciate it. You said, yes, you need South Carolina, migrated to Georgia, Alabama. Yeah, we got to get into all that. I want to come back up to Virginia and Maryland before I get to Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, all that stuff. So this is going to be going for a while. Yes, Trauma Hawk. My Cash App is $ the Tasha She. Yes, Sheba made a donation earlier. I really appreciate. Oh, thank you. You said you were welcome. I love you guys. Oh my goodness. You said advice on the salmon name. Now, Soapy Salmon is a clan, so that most definitely probably is an indigenous name. We have the Salmon clan in certain tribes. So I would try to look up the Salmon clan if you want to do more research on that. You said you about to ask me about Alabama and South Carolina. Yeah, guys, I was supposed to have been in South Carolina this week, but we still got a whole bunch of North Carolina, and a lot of people have been saying that it's helping them, so I'm trying to get through all of that. Or maybe I can skip ahead after I do these certain surnames. We might have to skip ahead a little bit if these lists aren't too long. And then I have a whole bunch of stuff for Virginia to do too. Yeah, we mentioned Harris on here. Harris is in association with the Johnson family. So those people intermarried. And what was the other one? You said Harris and Jones. Jones, I'm a Jones. Slider Jones in Virginia and North Carolina. The Jones family. Oh, no problem, Davida. Said peace. Hey, peace, Tony. You said peace, indigenous. Yeah, Tony, you said in the Caribbean. Tony, they had Sophie just said they had a earthquake probably about 40 minutes ago in Jamaica. So we gotta, send some positive energy out to them. Florida, yes, we're gonna get into Florida too. With Florida, a lot of people from Georgia, Carolinas, migrated down to Miami for one, and then they spread back up because they were having a lot of job opportunities down in Miami. I saw this. It was a beautiful documentary. I don't know where I saw it at. Beautiful documentary, probably on Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video, about Miami, how the city of Miami was formulated. And they said basically a lot of melanated families migrated down there for work to build the city. They built the city themselves. So it's a lot of, rich history with Florida. And then we also have the Seminoles and the Yamasee and all that history over there. And the Tumacas and all the other tribes that were eliminated. So you've been fighting your own cousin as a kid. Wow, I can go back as far as Harris and Johnson said. Just show them this page, coastalcarolinaindians.com, that has these names. Also, if you go to freeafricanamericans.com, a lot of these indigenous families are listed on there. And they also have them, some of them listed under Indian Town. So they was Indians, right? You say, yes, Florida, your paternal side, it's St. Augustine, Daytona, where my paternal grandma was born. She said she said St. Augustine was beautiful. And she's still alive. Oh, she said so clean. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, if you guys got any more questions, I'm gonna stay on here for a couple more minutes and then we can get off of here. Gotta get going. But I'll read the families that are associated with Johnson again. It says Butler, Roach, Buck, Harris, and Bryant, like Kobe Bryant. Like I said, his family's from North Carolina, so he is related to these indigenous Johnson people, right? He was related to. Condolences to him, his family. Thank you, Sheba. Yes, son of John. That's what it means, son of John. what's the other site? freeafricanamericans.com, and that has the 2 volumes of the books that are being updated with all these indigenous families, the free people of color, and some of the newly I say unenslaved, emancipated families. That's the proper term on there. You guys can all on the enslaved families. I think they have an old website that has some documentation as well, like the marriages that they did, and some of the work compensation contracts. One of my ancestors were being sued on one of the contracts from one of the newly freed enslaved people, and he won the case. I guess the person was lying or whatever. But they have all type of stuff on there, and you can, you get a little taste of your ancestor's personality, because it's like this person, my ancestor, he was like, nah, I'm not just gonna sit back and and listen to this person lie about me. So he fought it, you know. So those things are good to find. You say you a Smith from Virginia. Okay, what about Alabama, Smith Johnson? Yeah, like I was saying, some of those Johnsons come from these Johnsons in North Carolina, right? North Carolina, Virginia. So, all right, you guys got a couple more minutes. Anybody got? Ooh, I'm gonna keep shaking this thing. Any more questions? You said you have Brown and Keenan. That's an interesting surname. I've never seen that one. So if you got these surnames that are not common, it's going to be easier for you to find information, which is really good. I know a lot of people might have like hated their name because it was different, but now you'll be able to find information. So my father's father was a Johnson and his wife was a Harris. Oh, from South Carolina. They might have been like distant cousins or something, which happened a lot. He said, I think your family migrated from Texas to Florida, and there was more of us in Texas than Florida. That's interesting. Do you think you guys might have descended from the Seminoles? Because the Seminoles left Florida and went to Texas and Miami, not Miami, Mexico. They had like a city in Mexico, and then some of them came back to Texas. So they could have went to Florida because that's where they originated, Lucius. So you might want to look into that. And that's why it's good to know the history as well. Yeah, it's good to know the history as well. You said is Lolita an indigenous name? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Lolita, where that comes from. You said your Johnson family comes from New Orleans and from Haiti. Wow. They originated in New Orleans. That's interesting. All right, you guys. So I think I'm going to be signing off right now. I'm all extra thirsty today for some reason. I got to go today, guys. So much is going on, you feel like you feel sad and then you feel optimistic, and this is like you've got conflicting feelings with all this stuff going on now, stuff with Kobe Bryant and other personal stuff, and then just life, so you feel optimistic, you feel sad, you feel, now we have the stuff with Jamaica. We got to see what's going on with them and make sure everybody's okay. So I appreciate everything that you do, Tasha. Some of us knew in our hearts that we were indigenous, but we couldn't connect the dots. Hug you and your son for us. His big cousin loves him. Oh, thank you, cousin. I hope you guys are doing okay in Jamaica, Sophie. Thank you, Davida. All right, peace, Patricia. I appreciate you guys. Please like, share it out, comment. Leave me some comments if you want to ask any more questions. You guys know I, read the comments and respond if I see it. So, you said Florida used to stretch to Texas and Louisiana. Yeah, all those people were related, Those tribes are interrelated and things. All right, thank you guys. So we'll see if I'll be on tomorrow, see how I feel. Like I said, a lot going on. Definitely going to come back again at least once this week. I want to do 3 times so we can finally get to Georgia, you know what I'm saying? Finally get to South Carolina pretty much. So South Carolina, Georgia, hopefully we can get to them this week. And yeah, so just please share it out, like, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and make sure to hit the bell button and click the gray bell that says all notifications so you can get the live notifications. Okay, and I appreciate you all. And in the Powhatan language for goodbye, we say ana. So, ana.